Man, y'all already know what type time it is. Scram'N and T presents Scram'N to the Top podcast. Gon' run it up. We out here. 100. Y'all already know who it is, man. I'm Banzy. We live and direct here. I got the Councilman, Joe Watkins, on this campaign run. What's up, man?
What's happening, man?
Glad to have you here, man.
Yeah,
So, for all the people that don't know what you do, tell them, a little bit about yourself.
basically, I'm Joe Watkins. I'm on the Lexington City Council, and I'm currently running for North Carolina House District 81 here in Davidson County, man. I also own an IT company, Central Technologies. Man, we've been in business since 2006. And we've been running since then.
So before we get into the politics, how did you get into wanting to start your own IT company? Was that like a passion of yours?
Yeah, it was. Man, it started when my dad bought me my first little computer. It's crazy. And then I got into that. Got into high school, kind of got away from it. Then once I got a little on the bad boy side, then I jumped back into computers and been in there since then from like 1995. Then worked for the federal government for a while. Did a lot of secret work for the federal government, network security. And then I decided I can do this on my own. So that's when I started in 2006. Came up, looked at my wife, came in the house, looked at my wife, and I was like, hey, I'm quitting my job today.
Word up.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing this for. But I decided I'm going to take a chance, go with my dreams, go with my vision, and try to make it work, man. And the first few years were, man, it was pure hell the first few years.
Yeah, made no income like that?
No, man. I tell things that I normally don't tell people. Man, my house is in foreclosure, cars got repoed, but I'm not in that position no more. Right after that,
right,
it took off. It took us some time, but I'm not in that position no more. And right now, I'm loving my freedom. I can do what I want, when I want, whenever I want, with whomever I want. That's the happiness part of it.
Dang, that's what I'm trying to get to now. You living the dream. So is it more like contract based or?
Yeah, we do break fix, which is you call us when it breaks and we respond, but you don't really want to go that route all the time. You want to be more proactive, especially with a lot hanging on your business at the time. And what we major in is managed services, which is proactive, monthly support, unlimited for just that month.
What's that?
But basically, we support your whole company. What we do, we give business owners peace of mind on their data. We make sure they're safe from ransomware attacks, make sure their servers are running, their network equipment is up and going. And we just do that on a continuous basis, on a month-to-month basis. You pay us and you don't have to pay us no more. It's like you get to budget your IT budget for your business. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it is.
And one way I came up with that was I had tore my Achilles tendon back in 2009. And I was laying on the couch like, man, I gotta make these bills. And that's when I came up. I got to find a way. I couldn't walk. I had to come up with a way to make money. And take care of my family. That was it, man. I heard about it and I was like, I gotta put this together. And from there, man, it took off a level at a time. A level at a time.
And that's dope.
Time, man.
So how you when you just walked in and just I'm just quit my job and I'm gonna just do this, was you scared or you was gonna fail? What, even though you was scared, what motivated you to push the fear aside and just go get it?
Family. My kids. Everybody watching me, man, because you always want to be an example for people that's around you, especially your family, your kids. People look up to you and they see things in you, but until you actually start working those things that they see and be successful at it, I think that's when it makes a difference, because now they think that they can do whatever they want to do. And that was my whole purpose. It's like you don't have to accept the mediocrity of life. You can always push the levels up even higher. And it's all about how much drive you have, how much commitment. And not only that is the biggest thing is why you're doing it. And my whole thing is I don't work for money. I work for freedom. and money is just a byproduct of freedom.
Man, that need to be a slogan. That need to, I don't work for money, I work for free. Hey, man, that need to be a slogan.
I just believe when you start working for money, the minute that you don't make the amount of money that you want, you're gonna lose your passion. That's why I think in this person, I think people do that when they go from job to job.
Yeah.
That the minute that job is not paying them, or they are no longer satisfied with the money that they're making, they move to the next one looking for even higher money, higher wages. And I think that's something that you have to really get in your head. If you go to work and you work for passion and something other than money, you're always going to pay off. One, you're gonna take off and achieve levels and things that you never thought you would. So that's why I came up, like, I wasn't the one that came up with it. I heard somebody else say it, but you kind of take that and just make it your own. There's plenty of things I've seen, man, that I've seen people do, and you just gotta mold it, create it, and make it fit you. You can't. There's no step-by-step plan to success. You hear something, you make it fit you, and then you go with it.
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest flaws when I started. I was like, I want to get paid for this. Like, I want this amount of money.
Correct.
So when I first did the wave flow and everything, it's just like, I seen some money, but it's not like what, you expect to see a bundle. Like a bundle, but
I thought the same thing. When I came in, I was like, people like, you go in, you like, I'm gonna make this year, I'm gonna make $250,000. Okay, that didn't work. It didn't work. I wasn't realistic. You gotta have that. You gotta have some kind of plan and a goal. Excuse me. You gotta have a plan and a goal when you start setting these things to it. And I knew what I wanted to accomplish. I knew where I wanted to be, and I know who I wanted to influence in that walk, and that was my family, my girls, my grandkids. They want to see Papa make his thing. You know what I'm saying? And give him a chance to say, hey, if he did it, I got him right here as a resource. He's right here. I can go to Papa, I can go to Dad, and be like, hey, how did you do this? And you can tell them and give them that inspiration, that guidance. Now, I'm not going to do it for them, but I will give you enough guidance to help you out along the way.
Yeah, I think that's more so like the coolest part, like that I seen him, like, man, he got a lot of insight, and that's what I need, like insight that you ain't giving a blueprint, but you giving knowledge.
Yeah.
Like that's the coolest part.
The blueprint is up to you.
Yeah.
I got my own blueprint, and my blueprint won't work for you.
Exactly.
Because I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm in a whole new different realm of career. I got a whole new different vision than what you have. So mine won't work for you, but you can take the insight and put that thing in the bowl, stir it up, come out, be like, this is it. This is it. That's what works for me, and that's what you have to do. Other than that, I've seen people do step by step. Yeah. It don't work like that.
I said, I took a couple ingredients. I ain't gonna lie, like you already know. Like that's why it's well, you already know some certain business ventures that I got.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to like expand and like I'm thinking more than what I was, and that's to the point where it ain't really about the money. I mean, everybody want the money, but it's more so like I don't want to wonder what if.
Yeah. And this is one thing that when I first started, man, I would have so many irons in the fire, and then I realized like I can't beat all those people at one time. People actually think that you can multitask, and you can't. It's almost physically impossible to multitask. Last week I was talking to my grandson. I said his name is Israel. I said, Israel, he was, I multitask. I can multitask, Papa. I said, I bet you can't. I was like, I need you to read this sentence aloud, and I need to write that sentence while you're reading aloud, and look at that paper and tell me if you can multitask. He couldn't do it because he had to switch focus from the paper.
Yeah.
But you couldn't read and write that paper at the same time. So I was like, you can't. It's technically impossible. because the brain doesn't work like that. It only focuses on one thing at a time. You can't do it. So when I started, I had all these little things I wanted to do, and I was like, you know what? I really need to just get all my focus, all my energy, and laser direct it to this right here. And after that, man, I started seeing things start taking off a whole lot more.
So like it's like once you like pinpoint like one singular focus, and you get that the way you want to, then you can just
once you get it, I guess your whole thing is once that starts paying for your bills at your house, and the business can actually float and run with the money you bring in, then at that time you can do a little focus. Here I think this is where you get a little. Our moves are not as fluid as they need to be, because before we think that we get it. I was watching a video today. The guy he was saying the football player made 1.5 million. Well, after all that was taken out, man, this cat only had 500,000. Now, granted, everybody around him told he was a millionaire, and you know what he did? He spent like a millionaire, but he wasn't. And it wasn't until he realized that he really grabbed control of his finances, and that's the thing. People, and you also have to look at what people say about you, and wondering. You get it all the time, man. I mean, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I get it. I appreciate the encouragement. I do not, push it down. I accept it, but I know that means I got to work hard. I got to do more. I got to make in my business. I got to make more sales calls. I got to do more networking. I got to get out here and whatever it takes to become a salesman. And that's one way you'll never be broke. That's a side note. Learn how to sell. You'll never be broke. Day in your life.
Especially if you got a target audience. You got a certain target audience you want to reach, and then you just go straight for them.
Exactly.
And got a good marketing plan.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
That's spot on. That's how it works. That's how it works, man.
So let's jump into politics.
Oh, let's do it. Let's get it.
Did you always want to be involved in politics? Because everybody said it's up and down, it's kind of shady, but also I feel like we all say this like it's shady, like don't get involved, but in all actuality we need people involved that can change the status quo.
True. Like
we need people involved. Like, so what made you say, you know what, it's some things I want to do, some things I want to change, let me get involved?
Okay. I always follow politics for a while. I followed them. I learned that it's needed, and you learn that not every political figure that you see is a bad person. Not everybody you see walking down the street is a bad person. It's the same concept. And when I really got involved, I was already in my party. I was not active, but I knew what was going on. And I decided, you know what? I don't want to be the guy that sits on the couch and have all the answers. But there's nothing I can do with those answers, man. There's nothing I can do with my answers because I'm not in the game. You like this guy sitting on, it's like the Monday morning quarterback. Oh, this is what he should have done, could have done. Bro, you wasn't in the game. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't in the game, so you really don't have a platform to even say anything. And I like being in the game, so that's what I did. I kind of figured that some of the confidence I built up in myself, some of the things that I felt like that I was pretty good at, and I used that to define whether I was going to get into the political world or not. And I made up my mind. I made up my mind. Then I had to talk to my wife to make sure everything she was okay with it. Because what most people don't say, you jump in the political realm, and now your whole family
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, your whole family in it. So you got to make sure that that's a route they want to go, and if they don't, you got to find a way to keep them out the spotlight, because that's not where they operate at.
Okay.
So took that, then I put my name on the ballot, man, and it was the campaigning. That's another question, man. Campaigning is a monster.
So what all you had to do? Like I see a lot of campaigning. Like, but all we see is what we know on TV. Like that's all we see. But we don't see like actual members out, because you know in all actuality, like people like to talk about politics and voting, but they're not in tune with that. People just like to talk. So when it comes to campaigning, like how hard is it? Like, is it like a 24/7 thing, or is it just like, is it like what we see on TV? Like you gotta hit the pavement every day.
Yeah, maybe not as what they call canvassing, going door to door, but you always, when you're in the campaign mode, you're always out here finding ways to talk with people. And with me, man, I love people, and so I have no problem talking to people. I have no problem with people telling me no. I have no problem with that. I respect people's decision.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, okay, cool. If you like me, man, I'm with you all the way. Tell me what you're trying to do. I don't think it's so hard to do stuff for people that really won't sit down and talk with you, because you don't know what they need, and so you can't really technically do anything for them. But the people that sit there and tell you this is what we need done, and those are the issues you fight for. And when I did get elected, I was surprised.
Word up.
I was surprised. Everybody said I was going to win, but I'm like, I don't know. Man, I'm going against two incumbents, and I was this rookie guy coming up out of the ground. Like, nobody knew who I was. Most people knew me as, oh, that's Terrell's husband. Nobody really knew me. But after a while, you be out there enough, people know your name, and that's campaigning is marketing.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's marketing. True. Same way you're trying to grow a business, the same work ethic you got to put into getting your name out there, getting your platform out there, getting your beliefs out there, and be willing to take the hits and whatever, the hits or the hoods, one of the two. You're gonna get one of the two, and you just take it and do the best you can with it.
Man, that is exactly like marketing. I mean, it's different, but it's the same thing. Like doing when there's politics involved. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, I knew you. Like, come on, man, you had the ball. You had everybody. That's all. I don't even know the other people that were running like legit. Like,
yeah.
Everybody just kept saying your name. I'm like, you already got this.
I didn't know, because I didn't know who was talking about me. Because when you're out there, you just focus on what you're doing, and you're trying to, the same as a business, man. You're trying to convince people to do business with you. That's basically all it is, man. And you basically selling your ideas. It's nothing different.
So you're on this campaign right now.
Yeah, I am.
So tell us more. Like, tell us about that. Like, what is the next step for you? Like, what are you hoping? Like, after this campaign, what position will you hold? Like,
if I am successful at this run, I'll be in Raleigh. I'm running for North Carolina House for District 8, and District 8 consists of, if you look at Lexington from the bottom up, you can draw a line straight through the middle. I would take all of Lexington, and then you would kind of go to the northwest. You'll get Walberg, Midway, Welcome, Tyro, Reeds. Then you go back around to Linwood and South Mount. That's everything in that is my area. District 80, that another guy's running for, that's his area. That's more of the Thomasville side.
okay.
So that's basically how it's split up. They cut Davidson County right in half. And 55,000 voters. And so this is totally different. And people in the county, you got more people in the county, so more people gonna vote.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew when I put my name on that ballot, I was already down 3 votes to 1.
Word up.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I mean, this gonna be a tough run, man. It's gonna be a tough run, and you gotta have a plan. And I have campaign manager, I have campaign treasurer, and they help me out, kind of like give me where I need to go, where I need to be, and you just go from there, man. This is a new territory for me.
So
it's totally different from city council, I tell you that.
what made you want to run for house?
Man, when I see certain things happening, in my company, one of our biggest vertical markets is behavioral health. And when you go in these places and you see people that's dealing with these mental health issues, and then you go out and you see people that are afraid of getting mental health, or it's not accessible. So you want to do something about that. Like I said before, man, I love people. I want to see people take off. I want to see people be the best that they can be. But you can't if you have these issues in the way that prevent you from getting there, or you go up 3 steps and then you take 4 back because of the mental health issues that you're dealing with. And then the other thing is teachers. The teachers are I don't think that they're compensated well. Just to deal with kids. Personally, I couldn't be a teacher. I couldn't be a teacher. I could not be a teacher, man. But they deserve a lot more credit than what they've been getting. And for me, having teachers in my family, I know that they have to provide certain things for their kids throughout the school year that they don't get reimbursed for, and it could be upwards of, I guess, $2,000, and that's coming out the pay that they're already getting. And the platform that they created when they kind of like restructured the teachers' pay, it's not good. And then you have other issues such as the city council. When we're on city council, we see blighted housing, but a lot of people get away with the blighted housing because the state minimum requirements are so low. And I'm going to try to fight for giving those the municipalities that's doing that, give them a little bit more power to dictate, hey, we want to beautify our city. True. We can't do it because the state won't allow us to, and it's just a legal thing you have to go through. They're not doing. I don't think the people that's doing that are doing something illegal. They're just doing what they're required to do. But people look at it as being illegal, but it's not. So.
Good to be here.
Hey, yes, sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So, it was, casual conversation. We were just in here talking, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw you out here in the fire. I don't mean to do you